So today I played Minecraft, but without jumping at all! And the one goal I had in mind was to find diamonds. Now when I say without jumping, I mean specifically without pressing the spacebar, of which I removed the keybind for, meaning I physically couldn't even if I tried. So any movements you see here, specifically suspicious looking ones involving water, is not actually me pressing the spacebar, but rather just Minecraft's scuffed water physics. So you see, I had probably one of the worst spawns for a challenge like this. One thing I needed was wood, and fast, as it meant I could craft slabs to traverse the lands easier. But to get wood, I'll need to make it across this river. That's great, just make a boat. Oh yeah, there's no other trees on this Y level, because I start off in a blimmin' badland. So I started off by hauling all the sand I could find and attempting to make a nice little bridge across the river. And now I'm seeing a few flaws with this strategy here. One of the key ones being, this is an absolute waste of blocks, you what? Why didn't I just craft sandstone in the first place, you idiot? And now, with that, I was able to hop over this azalea tree and acquire my first excuse of logs. However, you know these sticks that I acquired from dead bushes? Well, it was with them that I realized I could improvise, and instead of making slabs to get over the blocks, I could make ladders. So with a means of transportation now firmly acquired, it'd be smooth sailing from here, right? Well, not really, as the amount of wood in the general area was sparse, and the amount of ladders I own is essentially the amount of jumps I have, which means I still have to traverse the land carefully. Though it's not like resources in general were a huge issue, as there was a desert temple nearby. And a village! I didn't think I had enough stuff to tackle the desert temple, so I went to the village instead with the hope of getting some iron or something along those lines. And after nearly drowning using most of my ladders to not drown, I was disappointed by the lack of iron. Oh, I could kill this guy, but I wouldn't stand a chance even if I tried. So I stole the village's hay bales for bread, then robbed this child and kicked them out of their bed because I am a humane person who always puts everyone before themselves, right? The village didn't have much else of value aside from more bread and cactuses, so I decided to traverse to the next local area, the desert temple, with the hope that I would be able to find diamonds and complete this challenge. I dug a hole while covering up above me to make sure no rabbits can jump and land on the pressure plate, and oh, would you look at that, I completed the challenge! Today I played Minecraft without jumping at all, and it was really blimmin' easy! Okay, so with that challenge completed, what's next? I had acquired diamonds before I had literally even touched grass, which to be fair I think says quite a bit about the state of the game at the moment, that you can get literally the second most important mineral in the game without stepping foot underground. Oh, but do you see that in the distance? There's another village! Woo! So after deciding that my new goal was to simply have a comfortable life without jumping, I arrived at the next village, scared off all the locals, and then attempted to climb a mountain in the hopes of finding a surface cave, which I soon realized was a stupid idea as I could just dig straight down. I already had diamonds, all I needed now was iron to get iron armor and tools, and thus meaning that I would be able to live a comfortable life. So I did what any normal person would do in my situation and started mining. Surprisingly, not straight down, as I needed to preserve my ladders for future situations, and furthermore by making a staircase I could use stair blocks to go up again, which does not count as jumping, rather walking upwards. So I mined downwards a little bit and then found some iron. Not a lot, but it was a start. And while I was down here, I used the sand that I had harvested, making my way down to the iron in the first place to craft sandstone, and then sandstone stairs to make my way up. And the appearance of clay also made me obviously aware that I was now in a lush cave biome, which might mean that I could get a lovely little fish friend. Those things are fish, right? Like a type of fish. I know they're not named fish, but are they classed like fish? The same way you and me are technically classed as mammals, even though we could go by the names of Jake, Amy, and Dick. So ignoring that little crisis, one of many I've had in the past few months, trust me, I found an amethyst geode, of which a convenient path upwards was constructed to me thanks to this green explosion, lad! Woo! And with that, I harvested some more iron and then continued the grind. But one by one, I discovered little segments of iron, which would allow me to get closer to the goal of living a comfortable life without jumping once. However, the lack of jumping was to prove somewhat of an issue as I entered this lush cave, as I ended up running, unfortunately, along stairs, and ladders, especially as I went lower down. However, this was no longer an issue. As you may have noticed, I now have a water bucket, which might not have protected me from that explosion, but at the very least allowed me to conserve some of my transportation methods. And after that little rodeo in the crevice of the lush cave, I kidnapped a fish as a nice little pet I could cherish and nurture to my heart's content, and then I emerged with iron! I cooked it up, forged it into lovely bits of armor, and then made my home in the village, among my people. You know what, other people you could be among us, other people who subscribed! Woo!